We're live, baby. We are live. Oh, Bartlett's head got small right off the bat. Oh, it's back to normal. Good, good. Tech
Good start.
issues. This is live TV. This is live content. So you're gonna see some tech issues. Uh, I'm a little blurry right now, but it is what it is, right? Um, Thank you for joining. I don't know how many people we got in here now. We had 7 or 8 a couple minutes ago. But this is the first show, and this is the Web3T. Um, my name's JP Lee. I'm a product manager at VanEck, an ETF product manager, and very excited to start this show. We've been working on this for a couple of months, to be honest.
Yes.
So got a really cool new computer to facilitate this YouTube streaming. It's actually very heavy on the processing, so appreciate the love. But yeah, what is Web3T? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? Web3T is going to highlight big stories and big projects in the crypto space, in the Web3 space, and in the NFT world, right? So we're going to be bringing in awesome guests to highlight some of the projects they're working on. And when I say bring people in, I mean we're going to be bringing in Web3 people who are actually out there doing the work and working on some of these awesome projects. And then we're going to be bringing in people at VanEck who have amazing thought leadership and are doing the deal and are working on a lot of cool stuff. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my first guest, Matt Bartlett, and
Yeah.
kind of let him tell you what he's all about, and then we'll get going. So, Matt, who
Sure.
are you?
Yeah. Good morning. Thanks, JP. So I've been with VanEck for over 8 years. Currently work as the head of internal sales, and more recently, my focus has been around creating content tied to crypto education, NFTs, and then helping to get our VanEck community NFT off the ground, which is something JP. We've been very excited to be a part of.
Yeah, big time. Before we started the show, this is the first show, right? So the people who are watching the show are most likely Van Eckers. If you're watching the show, first of all, thanks, but know that you're early, and we're gonna make it. We're all gonna make it. And so we had a little, I asked Matt, how many viewers do you think we'll have live today? And he set the line at 28. So we're at 23 right now. So I took the over at 28 too.
You took the over. All
So
right.
we're at 23, so we're almost there, guys. So I appreciate it. All right, so let's start small. Let's start small, Matt. And I know this is going to be a basic question, like first 3 minutes of a new podcast. It's a very basic question. What is an NFT and why is it important?
Sure. So NFT stands for non-fungible token. An NFT is a unique digital asset that allows for digital ownership through blockchain technology. So I really think a good analogy for this, and I didn't come up with it, but it's digital property rights. So each NFT is non-fungible, meaning that it can't be replicated or counterfeited, and it really can't be equal to any other NFT exactly.
I'm going to just take a side step here. Fungible, right? So there's a difference between fungible and non-fungible. Fungible means that I can send you like a common share of Apple stock or one Bitcoin is fungible. If you own one,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you own this one or that one or this one or that one or this one because they're fungible. They're exchangeable like for like.
Right.
Non-fungible means it's a unique asset, right? So NFTs are non-fungible, meaning my NFT. So if you have an NFT series, they're different. Each one is different. Even if the only difference is this is NFT 1, this is NFT 2, this is NFT 3, they're different, unique characteristics, even if each one's a black piece, a black screen with no other content.
Exactly. The token ID identifies it as being unique on the blockchain. Yeah.
Yep, awesome. Cool. Well, okay, then what is the VanEck community NFT and why are we launching it?
Sure. Okay. So if NFTs are digital property rights, then think of the essentially a free digital membership card, which is going to offer exclusive access to an inclusive community, which is our tagline, but it is also our aim, right? We're trying to build a community of like-minded investors and crypto enthusiasts, people pumped and excited about the Web3 space. So regarding the launch, the NFT is built around a series of promotional video releases. These videos tell a fictional story of a main character that we named Hammy as he explores the past, present, and future of monetary policy. And then he'll be met by some new friends later on, which will really help us to create the beginning of a storyline, right? But in short, this is the first NFT release. It'll be in the form of an airdropped still image, an image from Hammy's first video. But then later on, this is pretty cool, it will become a unique 3D ultra high avatar after reveal.
Yep, that's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and show the video. So essentially, how this was going to work is there's going to be a series of video releases which are going to create a narrative around this Hammy character, and it's going to introduce kind of the world, the metaverse world that these NFTs are going to kind of exist in. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to watch this video together. Turn on my desktop audio so you're going to be able to hear what's going on my computer. All right, hold on a second. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Desktop audio is on, and we're going to watch it. Ominous music there at the end.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn off my desktop audio again.
So, JP, maybe it might make sense just to walk the audience through some of the components of the video, maybe some of the Easter eggs that we've kind of put in there for VanEck.
Yeah, first to start off, I would like to thank our partners Numomo. So Numomo is a NFT creative agency that produced this video, and I think they did a great job, and they produced these videos, and they also are doing the NFTs themselves. So Numomo has been great to work with. But one of the things about NFTs and kind of these metaverse style projects are you're trying to create a lore. And when I say lore, I think like mythology, right? We're trying to create a mythology around the project, and so you do that by making cool art, and then you also do that by giving the audience a reason. We're like winking at the audience here, right? So there's all these little Easter eggs in here. Just to give a little background on the video too, what's the purpose of it? What's the meaning of it? Like the narrative is, this is Hamilton, right? This is a modern representation of the Alexander Hamilton, the character, the person, living in today's world. And they're one of the main things that kind of really wanted to zone in on is this meme of the money printer go burr, right? So this is a popular meme that came out, I want to say in 2020, when the retail traders were all in the market, and there was a lot of social media activity, and people were making memes like this. And essentially what this meme is saying is that no matter what happens in the market, the Fed is going to be there to backstop you, and you won't have any losses because the money printer is going burr. We're printing an obscene amount of money, which has negative consequences to the value of the dollar, exactly. Right? So in this world, Hamilton's walking down the street. There's dollar bills flying all over the place. Money is worthless. He's walking down the street, and dare to be different. There's a little VanEck slogan. This is we kind of say this is Satoshi. We don't name him, but he's in there coding away. And then we've got this Bitcoin, right? So Hammy's got a Bitcoin. Satoshi's got a Bitcoin. It's a membership club, right? So I'll get into this in the next section, but there's things going on in the economy and in the world finance, and we really believe that Bitcoin is a potential solution for that. So this first one ends with Hammy running into another member of the club, right? Another member of the Bitcoin club, and then they head off into this museum or this kind of different area where they're going to essentially gather the team together.
Yep.
So that is kind of the first video. There's more coming. There's two more coming. but we're setting the stage here. So yeah, any questions you have about that, Matt?
Very cool. Well, I guess why Alexander Hamilton, right? I mean, why did we make him the initial face of the project? I think people would want to know that, right? Why should they care?
Yeah, so Hamilton, he's done more in his life than make really cool musicals and be a popular Broadway star, right? So he was a real person and a founding father that did a lot of innovative, forward-looking things and effectively solved some big problems that the United States was facing when it was a new country, right? So let's rewind back to this. The Revolutionary War has ended, and after that, the individual states during the revolution, or the colonies, or whatever they were in that transition period, they were issuing debt. So they were saying there's a bond. Virginia is going to issue bonds to raise money. Um, Massachusetts is going to raise bonds. There's all these bonds out there in the market, and they were, soldiers had the bonds, and the soldiers were selling the bonds at a hugely deep discount because nobody believed that they would ever be repaid. And so what Hamilton did, so the problem was the United States had no credit, right? It was an 18-year-old that just got into a big fight with his parents and wanted to rent a nice apartment downtown. But the problem with that is, you need to have credit. There needs to be full faith in the government that it's going to be around in 50 years to pay off its debt. And so the problem was that these individual states, that debt was not being recognized as valid because nobody thought it was going to be paid back. So what Hamilton did is he came out with this big report, and it was it essentially consolidated all of the individual debt at the state level, and he consolidated at the federal level. So he said, if you have Georgia debt and you're worried about it getting paid, the federal government in the United States will honor that debt. So it really did a lot to instill confidence. Sorry, I'm having like lighting issues here. It did a lot to instill confidence in the United States government and in the financial stature of the new country. So he saw a massive problem, he fixed it, and then he set the stage for future American prosperity. And that's why he's like the spiritual guider, the spiritual guru of this NFT project, because we see parallels in what he was facing, where there's this big problem and there's a solution for it that kind of exists outside the current paradigm, how people are thinking about things. So we're linking Hamilton's innovation to Bitcoin's innovation because we see the same type of problems in money printer go burr.
Right.
That's going to have long-term negative effects on the value of the dollar and other countries that are participating in that kind of stuff. And if you go back, when was Bitcoin invented, right? In the first code of Bitcoin, it mentioned, the headline of a London Times newspaper about the bailouts that were going on back during the global financial crisis, right? So there's a link. So we're linking history to the present to the future, and that's what this NFT project is all about. So how should we be thinking about this NFT? If you're out there and you're watching this, I'm sure, if you're one of the 20, how many people we got? If you're 30, I won the over. We got 30 people on.
All right, you got the over. Fair enough.
Breaking records. So thank you for everybody for watching. Hey, if you guys also, I don't see anybody in the chat. I don't know if you guys are. Here we go. We got some chat. Yep. What is MOAF? I love how he casually steps on $100. Yep. So we got some comments out there. We got some chatter. The MOAF is not necessarily the Museum of American Finance. So don't that's not what it is necessarily. I haven't figured out what the name of that is, but it is some kind of a museum he's stepping into. So appreciate the chat. Appreciate the commentary. All right. So if you're one of these 29 people now, I lost somebody. Why do you want this NFT, right? Like, why are we here? Why are we doing this?
Yeah. Well, going back to your comments, I mean, first leak of the project, there's not going to be any Lin-Manuel Miranda NFT. So sorry to all the Hamilton musical fans out there. In all seriousness, though, holding a VanEck community NFT is going to provide you with some real world benefits based on the traits of each unique NFT. So admittedly, we stole some ideas from some of the best projects out there as inspiration. So thank you to them. But holders can expect a base level benefits that might include things like early access to research, invitations to real and or virtual events, and maybe even the opportunity to get sort of a first look at specific investments based on each investor's qualifications, right? So as we move forward and we try to include the VanEck community even more, we're going to float some ideas out there and experience. Hopefully you'll give us your feedback, right? Because we want to make sure that we're capturing the interest of those in our community.
Yeah. So, when I think about NFT projects that I'm participating in and I know about, right? Some of the things that are in all of them is they have a Discord, right? So, and for people who don't know what Discord is, it's essentially a big chat room where you go and you hang out. And so there's Discords for the big projects that have 70,000 people are a member of the chat room. And if you go in there, there's 5,000 people in there just going nuts, right? So, I mean, are we going to have that? And the other thing that one of these projects has is an OpenSea page, right? Where you can go and you can buy and sell the NFT that you have and follow what the floor price is and stuff like that. Are we doing that kind of stuff for this project?
Well, all right, look, so for starters, when you fill out the form, which I'm sure you'll reveal at the end or at some time during this, there is legal language about, we don't want you to sell this, right? So for those of you listening, we're a regulated U.S. financial services firm. We are in no way attempting to issue a security here. So purposely being very careful to work within our legal and compliance sort of guidelines. So I say this because we're not going to be actively supporting an OpenSea page or any page on the secondary market. You do own the NFT and the IP that comes with it, but again, we're not going to support any official transactions, right? In terms of the community aspect, I think there are definitely challenges for us for a project like ours. We can't safely use something like Discord, right? It just can't happen. We wouldn't be able to properly protect the participants in the community. But we did just launch an active VanEck community Twitter page. The handle is @VanEckNFT. And then we are going to introduce a very new and kind of novel way for us to have dialogue with our community members. So more to come on that. It's tied to a leak that will happen after the still image ends up revealing. And then going back to your question, yeah, maybe one additional comment. We do want to make this a community, right? So as an NFT holder, if you're invited to a real life or a virtual event, I cannot encourage you enough to try to attend, right? Those are really the best opportunities to meet us, to meet other NFT holders, and where you can share ideas and network, source your own deals. It's these events that are going to make the whole idea special. I think.
Okay, awesome. So, I think I'm gonna share my screen again, and I'm gonna just kind of walk through very quickly kind of what it looks like on the webpage. So again, vaneck.com/NFT community. And then over on the right, there's a register to own. And you just click yes, sign me up. And really, the most important thing we need, or you need, to participate in this is you need an Ethereum address, right? So, and if you don't have an Ethereum address, our chief NFT content creator, Matt Bartlett, wrote this cool blog, how to download a crypto wallet. And this will tell you step by step how to get a crypto wallet, how to figure out what your address is. So once you get that address, come back here, sign up, drop your ETH address in there, drop some information in there. And one thing I'll just kind of note that we know, so like if this was a NFT project and they're like, if you want to sign up here, sign up here, all you're going to give them is your ETH address, because that's the whole thing about it. Web3 is that it's decentralized, and that is is basically anonymous besides what your wallet ID is. So we know we're asking for more. Thanks, Michael. Michael likes the transition clip that comes up when I share my screen. Thanks, Mikey. Mike, everybody can see that chat. So on Web3 stuff, this is asking for way much more information. Again, we're working under a kind of conservative regulatory and compliance environment because we're a registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, right? So, Matt's, your video went away. Turn your video off and turn it back on.
Yeah.
Hopefully you come back.
I hope so.
Okay, now I can see the Skype thing. Oh, yeah, he's back. This is live TV, folks. Live TV.
Happens.
So anyway, so Web3 is going to say, wait, why are you asking for all this kind of stuff? It's because we're working under this conservative kind of compliance and legal environment. And you'll also note down here, there's this language about, hey, this is not for resale. This is, he said, I know. This is not for resale. You know, we're not trying to make money on these. There's not going to. The comments are going wild right now. Jim Cooper, will we be able to breed our NFTs in this project? So NFT. So in a lot of these, NFT projects, you try to get a bunch of them together, and then you effectively breed them. You put them together, and then they will generate like the Gen 2 whatever it is, whatever the project is. So Coop, I'll just say that there is a roadmap.
Yeah, don't leak it, JP. You never know. Hang in there.
We haven't gotten that far yet, but I appreciate the question. Pat Finn asked a question. If you have a Coinbase wallet, is that enough? And I don't know if you're talking about Coinbase website or Coinbase wallet. And if you have a Coinbase wallet that's on your mobile phone, that's the actual Coinbase wallet, that will be enough. That's the wallet that I use. I think, Matt, you use Trust Wallet most. I use Coinbase Wallet.
By the way, the blog is Trust Wallet. You could use Rainbow. You could use MetaMask, whatever you're comfortable with. But to Pat's question, we just need your Ethereum public address. Yeah. So that's what you're going to be pasting in there.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's go back to stop sharing my screen. A lot of great questions. Lively audience.
Very good.
How many people we got on there now? 29. Stuck at 29.
All right.
That was a good line set. Okay, so let's go back to, what should folks expect when they sign up? Another thing that these NFTs go, what are there rarity levels? Is there utility? What's going on here?
Yeah. So the total number will be 1,000 of NFTs, right? Of these NFTs. So it's going to consist of common, rare, legendary. There will be less rares than common, and really only a handful of the legendary ones, which will feature an important historical figure. So again, going back to value though, one NFT isn't technically worth more than another, but depending on the traits or the rarity of those traits, you might be offered a different experience or access to something unique, right? In terms of the drop, it's in early May. I think we're planning for late next week. So, if you want to get into this project, it's kind of a first come, first serve situation. Everyone will be airdropped a free still placeholder NFT that will convert to the high quality avatar in about 3 weeks after. So, while we are collecting some information that the Web3 folks might not be comfortable with, again, this is costing you nothing. You don't have to connect your wallet to a site. They're very low risk, right? I mean, this is something that we're doing for our community, which I think is pretty cool. And then I'll also add, we're purposely dividing the NFTs up among various investor types to sort of make it fair and to make sure that there is some element of randomness in terms of what you receive.
Nice. Yep. Well, you mentioned something about like historical figures.
Sure.
What's cool? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, look, in the VanEck headquarters in New York, most wouldn't know this, but our conference rooms are named, many of them are named after historical figures such as Alexander Hamilton or Marie Curie, Ben Franklin, to name a few. So people whose contributions inspired our CEO, Jan VanEck. I don't want to give away too much there, but expect to see the legendary versions be really a diverse group of historical names that are tied to innovation, financial markets, science, etc. And then maybe I'll just touch on traits for a moment one more time. The traits can mean a lot of things. So the background, for instance, of your avatar might be unique. Perhaps it's a beach scene or a party or the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, or perhaps your character has a specific accessory that might look interesting but appear initially to have no real purpose. It will have real utility down the road. And this is sort of the fun of being a part of a project like this. So bottom line, those who pay attention to what we leak out there over time may end up getting more out of owning the NFT. So another way to say this, and again, I am stealing from one of my favorite projects, all traits matter.
Yeah, and it just kind of there's examples out there of NFT projects where if your background looks like a beach party, then when the NFT project has a beach party, over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
If you own that NFT, you can go to the party, right? So so every little thing in the background, every little thing on the on the avatar is going to be tied to some kind of experience or some kind of, I don't want to say benefit, but some kind of utility that's going to allow you to participate in this community. And the last thing I'll really emphasize here as we wrap up this kind of part is that it's supposed to be engagement, right? It's a community with back and forth engagement. So we've kind of sketched out, let's call it until June, mid-June, July. But we want feedback from people who are participating. So if you're, joining this, if you're seeing this today, if you're seeing it, next week in early May and you're thinking about it, it's a back and forth and it's going to be organic and alive. And that to us is really where a lot of the exciting stuff is happening within the NFT space, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it's purposely why we did not go out a full year with our planning, because we want your suggestions, right? Otherwise, it's just JP and I telling you what's up, and we want you included.
Yeah, we do want you included. All right, so just to give you, here's the roadmap as it stands now, right? So today's Friday, April 29th. On Monday, May 2nd, we're essentially launching the project publicly. So you'll be, press release, social media, blog, emails, and stuff like that. So people will start to really learn about it next week, May 2nd. By the end of the week, we're going to start delivering the pre-reveal placeholder stills. So it's not your real NFT. And what's going to happen is you get this placeholder, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, it's going to convert into what the actual NFT is. And it's all built into the smart contract and the blockchain. So, and then there's going to be an episode 2 released in between that. And then the conversion to the 3D avatar happens on May 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we've got all summer to release the final video, to release what the different utilities are. And then along the way, we're really going to be building out kind of a portal or a homepage for people who own the NFT with NFT content, not just specific to the VanEck project, but just kind of, it's a new thing to talk about in the investment world, and we're going to be providing you with our opinions and analysis and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So there we go. I mean, I think we've done a good job of covering the project, and maybe touch on some of the other ideas that you have going forward for the show, or whatever the project.
Yeah. So I think when I'm on, and obviously you're going to have other guests. When I'm on, I will definitely be leaking some alpha tied to the NFT, sharing our development, sharing some of the design aspects. Maybe I'll do that on the next one. We're actually going to bring on various NFT project founders. So one of my favorite projects right now that I am invested in or involved in, however you want to put it, is Brandverse. And we've invited the founder of Brandverse to come on. Their project's really tied to bridging the gap between digital and physical wearables, but it's very much a community-driven project like ours. So it's good for listeners to get a taste of another high-quality project. And then again, we'll leak some cool stuff on what we're doing as well.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, so we've been planning for this webinar, this YouTube live for a couple of weeks now, doing a bunch of test runs, and I think we're through the official part of the part. And then I really wanted to bring Matt on and ask him some lightning round questions, which are purposefully, he didn't know what they were. We've done a couple practice rounds. None of the
he's been doing this all week to me, so
yeah, it's good stuff. So Matt, I feel like you're a pretty focused guy. I think correct me if I'm wrong. Are you kind of like a goal oriented guy that kind of maps out what the goals are and what you're going to be doing?
Right. This sounds like a trap question.
So my question is, look, it's going to be May 1st this weekend. We're 4 months through the year. So, why don't you give me a rundown of how you're doing on the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year? So what are your 2022 goals? Well, and then I want a grade on how you're doing.
Okay. Well, so being vulnerable for a moment, I mean, I still have to lose my COVID-19. I haven't done that yet.
You COVID-19. Okay.
Look, I think dedicating myself to learning more of crypto and specifically NFTs I've been certainly following through with that, and really this just being involved with this has really been sort of just an awesome experience, and obviously we're going to continue it. So I don't know where it ends up going. Maybe the community will tell me, but I would say that those are two things. How's that?
So you need to lose weight, but you're doing a great job at work.
Yeah, so
Sounds
I'm
like you're a
focused
middle-aged
on work.
dad.
I'm focused on work, not my health. What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. Well, I said I would answer my own question, but normally, or I'm like off and on the goals stuff. Like so, um, there's times in my life when I'm like Mr. Goals and I'm like doing daily affirmations, and then there's times that I'm not. So, at the turn of the year back in December, January, I was not in the right mindset to be mapping out my goals. So I didn't do it. I didn't have any
Okay.
specific goal. But I mean, look where I am now. I mean, I'm winging
Your own
it.
show. You got
I,
your own show
I'm
right now.
winging it. We're on the live show right now, first show ever. So yeah. Well, Matt, I really appreciate your time. We're gonna wrap it at about
Yeah.
30 minutes. It's not too long. Um, Everybody who watched this first episode, I really appreciate you. I do think this is going to be a great place for people to come and learn about crypto and kind of a less formal way. And I really do think that we're going to be bringing on really awesome people. There's a guy, Matt Siegel, at our company, the director of digital assets research, and he, the content and the insights are just on another level, like literally next level.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
Matt's coming on, Kareem from Brandverse is coming on. We got a lot of people coming on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. Right. So.